2025. Let me scoot this a little bit closer. There we go. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. Um, listen, we had a golf tournament yesterday the golf tournament was for raising funds for students to go to camp. Great tournament. It went well. I think we raised a lot of funds, had a lot of fun. So, man, thanks to Paul Broadbent and all the team that helped put that on together. It's a fun time. Fun. We had perfect weather. It was amazing. So that was yesterday. I woke up this morning. Man, I had a night of dreams last night where just, if I could remember it all, I can remember parts of a lot of it. Super intense. I really believe we're in a time of just a season where the Lord is, well, I say that. It could be just a season of preparation for some things, but I woke up. I had some incredible dreams. Sometime I'm gonna have to do a one of these, or maybe a whole slew of them on different dreams. Um, we can share dreams in the chat or something like that. A lot of people dream. A lot of people don't talk about their dreams. I think they're super important. Uh, Paul Keith Davis. I'm sorry, Paul Keith Davis. That's one guy. John Paul Jackson, another Paul. Um, John Paul Jackson. He's in heaven now full time, but he had a ministry that was, I would say, now I don't know that it was necessarily based in, but he was just known as the dream guy. So he talked a lot about dreams. Anyways, in his research, he found that if it wasn't for dreams, we would not have a third of the Bible. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, okay? But in his description, we would not have one third of the Bible if it wasn't for dreams. And I find that interesting because we're supposed to sleep one third of the day, 8 hours. So I thought that was cool. Anyways, all my dreams, I wake up, I'm trying to remember them, trying to write them down, and then I'm reading another book this morning early, just a short little. Um, it's not really a devotional, but it kind of that's what it is for me. And I don't want to tell you what it is because, well, I mean, I can tell you what it is. It's fine. It's called Dying to Self. The reason why I hesitated is because sometimes I say something and people run out and buy it. Well, I haven't finished it yet. Okay. So I don't want to necessarily say, man, this is a great book. But for me, it's a pretty good book. It was written a while back. And so the language that it is written in is, it's like, I mean, it's written in English. So I can't read any others. But it's written in like King James English. So how you would read a King James Bible. It's really like, for me, it's a difficult read, right? But there's life in it. So it's called Dying to Self. And I've just been reading it for a little while. And then after I got through reading this morning, I was like, you know what? This is so true. This is it's talking exactly about what I've been thinking for. I mean, we've talked about it on here before, um, but it's exactly what it's like at the root of what the Lord's been showing me for the last couple years, and now it's just beginning to put words to things that I've been feeling that I haven't been able to articulate. Now, I may not be able to articulate it any better this morning, but I'll at least give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so I want to start in Matthew chapter 16. And Matthew chapter 16, I'm going to start in verse 21. But really, we're trying to get to verse 24. Okay? I may go past that because it's all related, but verse 24 is really the main verse. Okay, so in Matthew chapter 16, starting in verse 21, it says this: From that time, Jesus began to show to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised the third day. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Never a good idea to rebuke Jesus. Let me say it a different way. Never a good idea to rebuke God. It just doesn't tend to work out. Began to rebuke him, saying, "Far be it from you, Lord. This should not happen to you. You're not going to die. You're not going to suffer. Nah." No, no, you're the Lord. You're the Christ. We know this, not you. And then he says, so it says, but he turned, Jesus turned and said to Peter, get behind me, Satan. You are an offense to me, for you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of men. All right. I'm going to stop right there for just a minute. Get behind me, Satan. Satan, you're an offense to me, for your mind is not on the things of God, but on the things of man. I would like to point out right there that Jesus is saying that when we are mindful of the things of man, not of God, he calls him Satan. Jesus calls Peter Satan, which Satan in itself means enemy, deceiver, opposition. Okay, so that's what the word Satan means. That's what we call we tend to call one devil Satan, but it really just means enemy. But he looked at Peter. Okay, one of the top three in his group. Okay, one of his closest three, and calls him Satan. Let's just think about that for a minute. Let's say you're with your favorite pastor, okay, and you say something to him that is in the best of intentions. All right, Peter is like trying to be his best self here, trying to be noble, trying to declare truth, right? Trying to declare goodness, trying to speak over Jesus. Don't say that about yourself. Speak goodness over yourself. Stop owning negativity, and you need to declare goodness. And Jesus is like, man, I'm trying to declare truth. I'm not really worried about making sure that I'm so comfortable, and I'm not really trying to worry about making sure that I just speak, comfort over ourselves. I'm trying to declare truth, and the truth is, Son of Man's got to go suffer, and you are opposing what the Father has said to me in this moment. Okay, that hearing me like he is like being all out truthful, and says, listen, man, your mind is on the things of man, not on the things of God. Your mind is on the things of man, not on the things of God. And so I'm gonna need you to get behind me. You have no place in front of me. I need you to move to the side, right? Then it says, then Jesus turned to his disciples. This is verse 24. Then Jesus turned to his disciples. If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. I just want to stop right there. We can continue on. In fact, I encourage you to continue on. But our denying of self, I think, is one of the biggest keys in seeing God move in our life that we are not living in as believers. I don't think in our culture, I don't think we, and this is collective. All right. This is collective. Um, by the way, when I said earlier, you're with your favorite pastor, that wasn't, I was just trying to pick an example of someone that we believe should always be kind and gentle and never say harsh things, and never tell us that we're wrong. And I don't say that as a personal thing. I'm saying that because that's how I grew up. I grew up, man, you're a pastor. You should be a little kinder than that. I'm a pastor now, and I fight that battle. Like, man, I'm a pastor. Should I say that? Well, the truth is, I have to speak truth. So it wasn't personal. Like, someone saying it to me. I'm saying this is what I deal with. I struggle with as a pastor. Anyways, that's all personal. I just want to make sure you knew I wasn't, you know, being like uh, manipulative or passive aggressive. Okay, that wasn't it at all. That's how I've grown up. So if anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. I think this is the biggest key. If we go back to the Old Testament, there's a very common verse that became super famous in 2020. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their evil ways, I will hear their prayers and I will heal their land. Okay, became super famous. If my people who are called by my name, God's people, will humble themselves. Denying self and humility, I think, are exactly the same. Denying self and humility. In fact, humility, you've heard me say it, I'll say it every time. Humility in the Bible, I believe you could redefine that as complete dependence upon God. Complete dependence upon God. Whatever he says goes. Okay? So my people who are called my name will be completely dependent upon me. Be humble themselves. Be completely dependent upon me. And then it continues on. Right here. To be my disciple, you must deny yourself. Completely dependent upon me. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, that's what goes. Um, trusting, trusting the Lord above all things. Um, I think that is the number one key. I think it is the number one key to seeing God move in our lives. Without a doubt, I think it is. I think it is easily the number one key. God, I in this moment. In fact, let me say it this way, and I'll probably end with this. I'll say it this way: now, 100% of the time, 100% of the time, when I have seen God move in my life, it's because I have reached a point and basically somewhere, either up here, in here, well, it's probably got to be both, but I have reached a point of going, God, if you don't move, nothing happens. If you don't move, then this is what it is. So you're gonna have to do something. And sometimes when God moves, it is the answer to my prayer. And sometimes when God moves, it is the understanding that what I'm walking in and what I'm walking through is what I have to walk in and walk through. But either way, God moves and makes it better. See, we think that so many times we need to go to God and we need what Peter was saying there. No, 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 don't say that, Jesus. That's harsh. It's hard. We don't want to see that happen. You're the Christ, you're the Messiah, you're from God. Why should you suffer? You're the King of Kings. You should not suffer, right? And so we, in our best efforts to be gracious and kind and optimistic, we look at these things and we say, no, that should not happen. And God's saying, no, no, listen, there's going to be things that happen in this life, and the best thing that we can do as believers, in fact, what we're after is we're after we may want the comfort because we don't want to have to we don't want to our minds don't want to have to walk through what it is, but ultimately I think we could all agree that if we have the right mindset, we'll walk through anything. So I can take everything. I take a lot of things in the kingdom back to dieting because I've been dieting. Well, I think we're all dieting. It's just whether or not we're eating healthy. You know what I'm saying? A diet is what you eat. But I try to watch what I eat, and if I need to lose a few pounds, then I have to restrict myself. And no, we don't want to do that. But if we keep in mind the goal. Okay, yeah, I'm hungry right now, but the goal is I want to shed a few pounds and I'm going to be lighter. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to have more energy. I'm not going to feel as lethargic. You know what I'm saying? If we keep that in mind, well, then we'll walk through anything. I think it's the same way in the kingdom. I think so much. Jesus is like, deny yourself. Go through whatever it is that I'm asking you to go through. Walk through whatever it is I'm asking you to walk through. You can go back to what we talked about last week in Daniel, when Daniel was with Nebuchadnezzar, and it was a horrible, horrific situation being under the rule and reign of Nebuchadnezzar. It was terrible, but Daniel had the right perspective, and he walked through it and had a great attitude the whole time, and even got to where he cared for the leader over Israel, even though he was terrible. Why? Because he was denying himself. God, this is you're God and I'm not, and you have me in this situation. And I'm gonna be the best you that I can be. Let us not forget. Okay, I thought I was gonna end with that other thing. I'll end with this. Let us not forget that Jesus himself came back as a man, okay? Lived his life as a man, 100% God, but lived his life as a man with his people that were under a regime of the Roman army, of the Roman Empire. That's when God chose to come back and live his life. Not when Israel was ruling and reigning and was winning. Nope. He came back when they were being completely oppressed. I find that fascinating. God himself was like, nah, I'm not going to come back when it's easy. I'm going to come back when it's difficult, when it's hard, because that's the God that we serve. He's like, no, this life will have its challenges. Deny yourself. Walk through this life. Whatever I give you, walk through this life. Don't seek your comforts. Don't seek, you seek my truth. I'll bless you. I will keep you safe and protected. Also, when I keep you safe and protected, it may not look like you're safe and protected, but I've totally got you. I'm going to show myself to be strong in your weakness. And in that, just deny yourself. Deny what the world, what your flesh is saying that you should pursue, and just pursue me. And that is the place. I believe that is the crossroads point of seeing kingdom invade this earth, is when we completely deny ourselves and say, okay, God, whatever you want to do, man, I'm yours. I think if we can learn to get there, man, here's what happens. Life never gets more exciting than that. That's what I believe. I believe life never gets more exciting than that. You will never be more fulfilled than in that moment. And we will be more blessed. We will be more prosperous. We will have more understanding. We will have more joy. Hear me now. I'm telling you, we will have more joy in the midst of all the stuff that we have to walk through in life. If we deny ourselves, we will have more joy than we've ever had in our life. I think that's true for all of it. So that's my encouragement. Let us go to God. Oh, the book that I was reading, Dying to Self, the part that made me go here is because it pointed out, there's a statement in there, and it says, dying to self is not a place that we can attain to on our own. We have to let God do it. I love that, because again, we're completely dependent upon Him. So if we're going to deny ourselves, we've got to go to God and say, help me. You gotta help me deny myself. And He will. Of course He will. It's His will. It's what He wants from us. So of course He'll help us. Man, I love you guys. Have a great day. Man, your divine appointments are coming. They were set up for you. Be ready for them. Just be ready to love and have joy in the moments when no one else is ready to love and have joy. And you will see God move in powerful, powerful ways. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.